MasterChef Australia is back, season 14. So Jamie Oliver was there for the first 2 episodes, and they had a 15-minute quick cook, and Antonio made capacios with 3 cheeses. So I'm giving it a crack. He served his up with sour cream, but because Jamie Oliver was there, I thought I'd serve it up with a bit of unflavoured yogurt, because I know how much he likes that sort of stuff. Start off, we're going to get the batter ready. As always, all the correct amounts of ingredients are going to be on the website, traditionalbutnot.com. We're just going to load in all of the corn, except for a few that we're going to leave aside. Now, in the traditional recipe, they use fresh corn, like corn straight from the cob. Now, I've done a few calculations, and I'm pretty sure that the amount of corn I'm using is going to be right. Also, I crack my eggs straight into the milk, just to, save on some dishes. Also, there's some salt going in. Now, in the original recipe, they use caster sugar, and I'm going to use brown sugar, because I prefer brown sugar. After that's all in, we're going to pop the top on, and I'm going to blend it all until it's nice and smooth. So I'm going to give it a quick stop. I'm going to scrape down the sides, make sure that flour and stuff's getting incorporated. Then we'll just whiz it up for another second. Once you go all blended up there, you're going to transfer it into a bowl. I know just then I said that we're going to blend it all till it's nice and smooth. You actually don't want it completely smooth. You want a little bit of chunkers in there. You still want a little bit of texture left to it. So once you've got it transferred to your bowl there, you're going to add in a little bit more of the whole kernels. Then we'll just mix them in gently. And we're going to set this aside while we prepare our cheese. As you can see, I got my cheeses laid out here. I got some fresh mozzarella, I got some halloumi, and some feta. Now I'm going to grate all these on the big side of the grater here. Then we'll mix them all together. I've got all my cheeses grated up here. Now, in the recipe it says to drain them on some paper towels or whatever, but I'm just going to mix them together, just like that. I'm going to leave them right here on the board. I'm filling around and it's not actually that wet. So, just going to mix these together, just like that, and let it chill out on the board while we crack on with the next step. So in the original recipe, he puts just some butter in the pan, and I'm going to use oil and butter, because I just feel like putting a little bit of oil in there as well. It helps the butter not burn as quick. Especially in this pan here that I'm using, stuff tends to burn kind of quick. So I've got my pan just on a medium heat, and I'm going to swirl that butter around until it's all nicely melted. And once we're there, I'm going to spoon in some of the mixture. Now I'm going to use a full ladle and a half. And we're just going to swirl this around. As you can see, I'm not sure if the camera's picking up, but make sure I got a lot of, the whole corn kernels that I put in there. And we're just going to cook this on a medium heat for a few minutes until one side gets nice and golden, and then we'll flip it over. So it's been cooking away here for a couple of minutes. Now I just had a little peek underneath, and we're ready to flip. So just going to get your little spatula here, get under it, and one quick movement, flip it over. As this cooks away here, we're going to fold this into a half moon. So I've already got some of my cheese mixture here. Just going to grab a little bit, and we're just going to lay it out on like 1/2 of the mixture already, because I want to make sure it gets all nice and melty. So once you lay it all out, we'll let it cook for another minute or so, and then we'll fold it. Okay, it's been cooking away for about, 30 or 40 seconds since we last filmed. Now I'm just going to fold this in half, like so. Got a little hole in the back there, but we won't worry about that too much now, will we? All right, I'm just going to let this cook we'll let this go for a little bit longer now, and then we'll flip it over and we'll get a bit more caramelization on this side. So it's been cooking away here for a little bit. Now it's time to flip it over. And we'll let it go for another 20 or 30 seconds on this side, and then we'll be ready to plate. Once it's ready, I'm going to slide it off onto a plate. We'll put a slice of butter on top to nice and melted, and it's ready to eat. As I was grating the fresh mozzarella and the halloumi and the feta, I was wondering why he would use those combination of cheeses when there's so many different ones around. But I think if you're making this for the first time, you definitely go with that one, because that's going to be the standard, because this is absolutely amazing. The saltiness from the halloumi, the gooiness from the mozzarella, and the sharpness from the feta cuts through a little bit of the sweetness from the corn and all that. Absolutely outstanding. One of the judges actually asked Antonio if he'd seen this on a menu anywhere in Australia, and the answer was obviously no, because it's a Venezuelan thing. But I can definitely see this coming to restaurants through Australia pretty damn soon, because this is absolutely amazing.